See, if you look at every IT leader, they have a methodology. Every company has a methodology in terms of the way they go about choosing tools, right? And this is what we call as a scoring rubric, where you'll get purchasing involved, you'll get legal involved, you will get the business involved, and then you come up with a scoring to just evaluate the tool. But one interesting technique which I've used, which has actually worked in helping from a tool adoption perspective also, is what I call as democratization of IT. Right? Let me explain what I mean by that. Right? Think about it. If I'm sitting in an ivory tower and then managing tool deployment through presidential edict, right? Making executive order saying this is the tool that you're going to use. Compare that and contrast that to an environment where I'm getting every single business user who's going to be using the tool involved and bought in from a tool selection perspective. So I'll give you an example. When we selected Freshservice as a tool, when I was at Veeva Systems, right? Veeva was a company built on Salesforce.com. And you had some of the best Salesforce developers there. In fact, you can call them as Salesforce ninjas, right? They could do anything in Salesforce. In fact, the inside joke was if they could build a bathroom in Salesforce, they would have built it in Salesforce, right? And so going in there, the ITSM tool that they were using was built on top of Salesforce. And you and I obviously know that Salesforce, while it's a great CRM tool, is not a great ITSM tool, right? So they had done a whole lot of patchwork to make it work, and there was actually an IT leader, Patrick, who used to actually spend time every day triaging tickets and then assigning it to different people to actually get it resolved for the business. I went in there and said, there's a better way to do things. But then I didn't try to make it where it's Prasad's choice to make the new tool selection. Instead, what I did is I brought a cross-sectional set of users from finance, from facilities, from HR, and from IT and others, right? From all the representative departments, had them try out the different tools. So basically, I created the need saying, guys, we are growing very fast as a company. What we have as a tool is not going to scale. Now it's time for us to now look at a tool that's going to enable us to scale. So what we did there is we said, let's bring a cross-sectional set of users, have them be involved in the tool selection, right? They looked at all the possible tools. So we looked at Zendesk, we looked at Salesforce, and we looked at Freshservice. And we had instances created for those tools, and then those instances, these users would go and play around with it for some time and then come back with feedback. That feedback would then, we would all meet in a room in which each of them has a seat at the table and has a right to make their observations on what they liked about the tool and what they did not like. And coming out of it, we then used the scoring rubric to say, okay, let's assign some points to what your feedback is, and then came up with the scoring, and then Freshservice scored high. So we ended up choosing Freshservice. Now think about what this does. There are 10, 15 people who are involved. They were actually acting as representatives for the functional departments that they came from. And they were involved in the tool selection, which means now they are already my ambassadors for making sure that the tool gets successfully deployed. I don't have to go or send my IT team to go and sell the tool to the business. The business is already involved in the process, right? So this way, you're democratizing the process where they are involved in the decision making.